Start streaming. Start recording.
Why don't they hire Chauncey Belbs as the GM?
Alright, we're gonna get a little bit of a late start here.
No, we're good.
I can X out of that page. I can X out of this page. Pull this up for me. Boom. Pull out my phone and do our checks. Check. 1 2 1 2. Ryan, what's going on?
What's going on, AJ? How are you?
We are perfect there. Let me just hit a couple sound effects here. Wait a minute. Alright, we're good. Did you watch the LaJoy thing?
I did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, where O'Donnell had to get involved in that stuff. That's yeah. Well, I'm sure we're gonna dive into that. Free curly fries.
Oh boy. We go here. We go here. We go.
Let's see. There's no.
Boom, boom, boom. Wait a minute. I gotta scroll for something now.
Okay.
Remember the Captain Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
There's now a Captain Chase Briscoe.
Oh boy.
And this one goes, Dearest mother, the draw was kinder to me for this battle. Alas, it matters not. The tide of battle changes often at Talladega. Starting position means little. Talks with rival camps over temporary alliances continue. I will take all the help I can get. Wish me luck. Chase. Oh, I love it.
Oh, lap traffic.
I love it.
Rusty, congrats to 40,000. Sherwin, Rusty, congrats to 40,000. Yeah, you know when you're watching your favorite sitcom,
No, Beans, get down, buddy.
Yeah, we're gonna be like 5 minutes late.
Come on.
Boop. Is that everybody? I guess that's everybody. Oh wait, where's your name? Why isn't your name popping up? Boop boop. We'll just type you in, then we'll find you right there.
Now you're there, right there, getting that live chat. There it is. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, turn down my volume on the phone.
Make sure we pull you up so this way there is no issues or anything.
Say hello.
All right, ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get it.
Hey, gentlemen, start your engines!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 82 of the Lugs podcast. Happy National Fishing Day, too, I believe. I'm your host,
nice.
AJ. With me, as always, my co-host, Ryan.
Oh, we're going to go out there and catch some bass now. Let's go.
I think I saw that earlier. I could have just made that up. It could have been something else, but we're just going to go with it.
It is National Bass Day, man, or Fish Day, whatever you want to call it. Let's go out there and catch some fish.
It's National Just Go Outdoors Day. How about that?
Oh, yeah, especially when it's like 90 degrees.
Oh, don't I know it. That's, part of the reason why we didn't have a show last week was because of that right there. It's just so hot down here that now I'm busy at work. I am super busy.
Yeah, I hear that, man. We're busy at my work, too, and yesterday really did a number on me. I work for Purple Heart, so we accept donations and, everything from, people that, especially during the quarantine, going through, cleaning out the house. Oh, we don't need this, so we're donating it. Well, for some reason, they wanted us to unload one trailer into another trailer for some unknown reason. But it was hotter than a mug in these trailers. Man, it took a number on me yesterday, and one of the guys today just said, screw it, and walked away at lunch.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fun day.
So, yeah, loads, and now the humidity's starting to rise, but luckily I get Saturday and Sunday off, which is always nice.
No, that's always good. I'm trying trying to reconfigure my desk right now because it is not set up the way I want it to.
Yeah, I got you.
So I think I'm all set to go here. So yeah, we took last week off. Ryan had some car issues that was going on at the time, and I was really busy at work.
I still have car issues that are going on, but we're getting that all squared away. Actually, right now as we speak, Monday, it'll be all taken care of. So
all right, so Ryan's still having car issues. Pontiacs. Just got to bear with us in this summertime, man. It's gonna be a crazy summer, I feel.
Oh yeah.
But
hey, we're back racing. We've been back. We've seen some damn good racing. I don't know if anybody out there agrees or disagrees, but I'm been impressed with everything I've seen.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Martinsville night race.
I did too. That's on the bucket list now. I told the wife, I'm like, yep, Martinsville night race bucket list.
Yeah, geez, even. And I'm trying to think back if any sports happened while we were gone. Like, I think golf
PGA Tour came back.
Yeah, that was it. They only had, 16 players in the tournament?
I'm not sure how many players they had in the tournament, but I know they're golfing this weekend. Let me check where they are golfing at. The RBC Heritage is this weekend, so golfing I might check that out actually. Saturday. Before the ARCA and Xfinity race.
Yeah, that started actually today. That's right, ARCA's this weekend too. Yeah.
Get the ARCA back on the car. Haley Deegan.
Yeah.
See how she does at Talladega.
So apologies for missing last week, but we are back now. Hopefully this is back on schedule. This week is really easy because there's only 2 series races this weekend. And
which is nice.
Cup and Xfinity, and it's just we can do a full in-depth review show next week. Not so much this week, Ryan. This week we have 8 races to go over: 2 truck races, 3 Xfinity races, 3 Cup races.
Yeah.
So, like our last episode was a jam-packed, everything mashed into one episode. This is going to be that plus another 2 races.
Yeah. So you ready to get in some gas and go then? Since we got 8 races to go over.
Yeah, we're just gonna kick it right off. We're gonna go right into gas and go. Wasn't there a wrestling pay-per-view first off, Ryan? Wasn't there?
Yeah, Backlash. Backlash happened, and then TNA had a pay-per-view.
I don't watch any TNA or WWE anymore.
I don't either. All I know is they had one. I follow them on Twitter, and they were a lot of tweets.
I've even started slacking on my AEW watching. I just haven't had time.
Oh yeah. I've been keeping up on a little bit on the AEW and the WWE. It's just damn hit or miss right now for me. So
yeah, it's hit a lull for me.
I mean, it's not the same without the crowd reaction to a move that happens in a match. So I know they've got NXT talent now, or enhanced talent, so to speak, in the crowd trying to make it act, like there's a crowd there, but you can tell they're told what to do. It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, when AEW does it though, it's like
Oh,
I don't know,
AEW,
it feels more genuine.
Yeah.
Is that the word I'm looking for? But I mean, regardless, it's nitpicking at this point. It's making the best of what we have in a bad situation, I suppose.
I hear you on that.
All right, so gas and go, 8 races, like I said. Let's get into it.
All right.
All right, kicking things off, we had the Truck Series at Atlanta, where Grant Enfinger gets the win after a thrilling late restart, sets up a fantastic finish in that race. That was that caution brought up by Chase Elliott
Yes, it was brought up by Chase Elliott, a Georgia driver, with another Georgia driver in Austin Hill leading. With right before the white flag spins out, caution comes out. I'm like, oh no, they're going to come to pit road. They got to Atlanta, tears up the tires. You couldn't get it done on the restart, but Grant Enfinger did. Great race. I love these double header races at one track. I absolutely am all for it.
Yeah, I like it for sure. The thing I love is just the surface at Atlanta sets up some great racing, and that was a fantastic finish. Not quite the finish we had in the Xfinity Series this past weekend, but no. I mean, it was still for the Truck Series and everything. It was a fantastic finish.
I've been enjoying the truckers as they've come back. But
it's been good races, like even with Cup guys being in it, they have been very entertaining races.
Yeah, Kyle had a problem on the Atlanta race.
Yeah, he hit the wall. He attacked it pretty good. And even then, he was trying to chase down everybody. So it's one of those deals at Atlanta, man. It's just like Homestead, It's when you're riding right up next to the wall like that, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like you said, though, the surface at Atlanta is still one of the best surfaces. The drivers love it. Tire wear. I've said that in one of my notes. And it's like tire wear was definitely the key in all 3 series. I want to give a shout out again to Zane Smith, top 5 finish. I knew you were getting ready to go over that, but he's been looking good in the 21 truck lately. So hopefully he can continue to go on forward.
Yeah, not such a good finish in Homestead due to was he involved in an accident or was it an engine? I can't remember what I
can't remember either. And then Johnny Sutter got disqualified at Atlanta.
Yes.
I think it was an unapproved adjustment with a tire, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's been a minute there, so.
Yes. Kyle Busch then rebounds at Homestead this past weekend. And he had to start off with a penalty where he had to do a pass-through on pit road before the race even started. Or as the race went green.
Yeah, as the race started. Yep.
Phenomenal rebound. It was entertaining to watch all afternoon to see what they were going to do. As much as, I'm not, even though I'm wearing the Bounty shirt right now.
Yep.
Even though it was a Cup Series guy winning in the Truck Series, it was a very entertaining finish, and seeing Kyle try to track down the leaders and all that, like it was fun to watch him win. Like as weird as it is to say, for either you or I.
There was something interesting too about that truck race, because we had gone over to my cousin's house for a barbecue. We are allowed to hang out in groups now, so my cousin calls like, "Hey, you guys want to come over for a barbecue?" Yes, so the wife and Logan and I, we all went over there, and I got home and was going back and forth between Xbox and the truck race, and I see lightning in the background, and I'm like, "How come they haven't, postponed or red flagged this race?" And because you've seen it in the distance, and that's going to bring up to what happened at Homestead on Sunday, where they within 10 miles, they had to do the delay. I wonder why they didn't do it in the truck race, but yet they did it for the Cup race.
Yeah. I didn't see the very beginning of the truck race on Saturday, so I couldn't answer that for you.
Yeah.
I did, however, see the ending where Kyle Busch rebounds as he always does, and it was, like I said, it was a phenomenal finish.
Yes, it was.
Moving things on into the oh, wait a minute, whoa, where am I going here?
You got to do the standings.
It's been a while. It has been a minute. The standings following Homestead and Atlanta. Grant Enfinger, Austin Hill, Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes, Todd Gilliland, Zane Smith, Johnny Sauter, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed, and Tyler Ankrum round out your top 10 playoff standings. Ryan, we are 5 races into this season.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest surprise to you reading off those names in the playoffs so far? Not in the playoffs so far, but as of right now.
No one really. I mean, Ankrum, I thought he'd be a little bit higher in points right now. He had a great year last year, rookie year. I thought he'd be a little bit higher in the points. Johnny Sauter, that's another surprise right there. Same with Matt Crafton.
Matt Crafton, 12th on the outside looking in right now. That is, and Stuart Friesen too in 14th. It is, it is not like them for sure.
No, I know they changed makes too. The Friesen team. I thought they were Chevy.
Yes, they are now Toyota now.
Toyota, yeah. Maybe that has something to do with it. It takes a team, excuse me, a minute or two to get that dialed in with the new make and model.
Yeah, I agree with you there. How about the only Truck Series regular with a win and at that point even 2 wins being Grant Enfinger?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is very impressive.
Especially with the fact that every truck race this year has had a Cup Series driver in it. No. All but Daytona.
Yeah, all but Daytona.
Had a Cup Series driver in it, but yeah, it is. It's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. You could put him into the Final Four, I think, at this point with the way he's running.
At this point, like you said,
it's still early.
It is still early. I expect guys like Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen to get up in there and get into the mix for some things.
Yep, Sauter, Austin Hill. I think even Christian Eckes too.
Yeah, and even Brett Moffitt always a factor. Todd Gilliland's been showing speed. I'm just looking through the standings here.
Yeah, for an underfunded team, I think Gilliland.
And your new guy, Zane Smith, has just been lighting it up in the Truck Series. So
I like that kid. Hopefully, because I know he ran a couple races last year in the Xfinity program with Junior Motorsport. So anybody drives for Junior, you gotta like. So
hell, I know we're gonna get into this a little bit later, but Dale Jr. We'll get into it later. I'll get into it later. There's a point that I want to make on this, and we'll just start off with it when we get to our tire rub segment.
All right. Oh, so we got a cliffhanger, so to speak.
Yeah, kinda, and it's off of something that I had read yesterday when the whole Hall of Fame deal was announced. So
I gotcha.
Moving on, the Xfinity Series. AJ Allmendinger finally gets an oval win. He gets it at Atlanta. Ryan, it's awesome to see the dinger back in victory lane again.
The celebration was great. Kissing the camera. You can definitely tell he was excited. Awesome race. Noah Gragson, again, almost there, has it right there, but just can't do it. AJ Allmendinger gets it done. Like I said, the celebration was great. I tell you what, Colin Grayson is going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the Xfinity Series.
They are coming on very strongly here in these last 2 years, latter half of last year and early part now of this year. A little bit of foreshadowing. I have a Colleague Racing car as my pick for this coming weekend in the Xfinity Series.
And I do not blame you at all.
They've got something working right now, for sure.
Yep, their restrictor plate program. Like last year, they finished 1, 2, 3 at Daytona, but then Well, I think one of the cars had an
Yeah, it was Allmendinger.
unimproved modification or something. So
that was Allmendinger.
yeah.
I had made the comment on Twitter after Allmendinger won was I wonder how this car's going to fail tech.
And it didn't fail tech though. I mean, again, there's some great battles. Boyer and McMurray were in the booth that race, and Boyer put on Twitter something about being on FS1 when the race was actually on Fox, and McMurray pointed that out to him. Those guys had good chemistry.
Oh, for sure. And even I think they were back together this weekend at Homestead
Yeah,
on
for
the
the
Saturday
first
race.
On the Saturday race,
Yeah.
yes.
Talking about that Saturday race, Ryan, Harrison Burton gets a thrilling win there on the final restart there in overtime. Three
Noah
wide,
had it.
3 wide for the last lap and a half, just about.
Yeah, I would say about the last. I caught the last 3 laps of that race because, like I said, it was over at the cousin's house with a barbecue, and we got in. Yeah, I'm like, hey, can you turn on Fox Sports 1? And or no, that was on Fox.
Like you had said,
Noah.
Noah Gregson, who absolutely dominates this race, just at one point, I think up to 7th place was a lap down.
Yeah.
I mean, Noah was absolutely dominating this race, and caution comes out at a bad time, and honestly, it foreshadows what's about to happen on Sunday.
And by the way, there was a time where I was a fan of Homestead, but I really didn't, think of it. But man, the restarts, multiple grooves throughout the entire races, all the races that happened this past weekend, and kudos to Homestead.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up because as fun as the restarts were, and the racing was for the first few laps, I think you saw a real look into why this race is no longer the championship race,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say that a lot of the attention at Homestead was usually because of the fact that a championship was on the line. Because after the first 6-7 laps after restart, a guy would be in the lead up until the pit cycle. It seemed, very seldomly did you have any true passes for the lead in the middle of a run. You could say that on Sunday when Denny Hamlin passed Chase Elliott, well, that was during the green flag. Yeah, but it was during the green flag pit cycle. Hamlin, who had pitted a lap later, fresher tires, at one point he's going to catch up to him, especially with how you catch lap traffic. It's a different story. I'm talking about the dead middle of a run. You didn't have those runs up to the lead that you normally have. Like, I think the closest was Blaney on Sunday.
Yeah.
Almost caught up there with the top 2 guys and then faded off. I just think you got a real look into how that not being a championship race is going to affect how that race is viewed. Because I got to say, I was entertained, but it wasn't like it's not in my top 5 races of the year list. I guess would be the best way to say it.
No, Bristol takes that cake still.
Yeah. And even that, we had some mechanical failures this weekend, early on in the race. It's where I think I wish some teams, or not some teams, but I wish teams would be able to kind of have a way to work out the kinks of everything that's going on before race starts. It just a thought that I've had.
I got you.
So that's all I got to say on that.
How about Chase Briscoe Saturday losing a part of the car, and then
Chase Briscoe, who was a lap down multiple times on the Saturday race and came back to finish 7th, comes back on Sunday and wins the damn thing. Another race though where Noah Gregson dominates towards the end. It just loses it.
the late caution coming to pit road. Chase Briscoe's team gets the job done on pit road. Zippy on the box, calling shots now because of the suspension.
Isn't it good seeing Zippy back on the box?
What's that?
Isn't it good seeing him back on the pit box?
Yes, it is. I wish he would be back on the pit box for a couple other drivers.
Brings back memories. The old
Yes, it
Stewart
does.
days.
But yeah, it's just it was nice to see Briscoe get the win again after the win, gets out of the car, and we were over at my mom's house on Sunday for it. And my mom's like, why is he doing it? Why is he on his knee like that? And I had told her, and she's like, oh man. And I'm like, yeah, he won the first race back for them at Darlington, and now he won again at Homestead.
Chase Briscoe, to me, Ryan,
Yep.
is currently the best driver in the Xfinity series. Clutch.
I would have
where he needs
to
to be.
say that.
Had he not been a lap down on Saturday for a majority of the race, the speed that car actually had almost unlapped himself during a green flag cycle. That guy is the driver to beat. 3
Yes, he
wins
is.
already on the year. I know Gregson and Harrison Burton already have 2, but Chase Briscoe has been a factor in just about every race out of the 10 this year.
I have to agree with you. And by the way, we didn't even mention Dale Jr. on the Saturday race.
Dale Jr., who finished in the top 5 and then says that it might be his last one.
I don't know about that. It maybe.
Was I the only one? I must have been the only one this weekend sitting there watching it going, I wish he'd run a full-time Xfinity schedule.
I would love that.
Just 1 year. Like, I mean, I know he's not a full-time driver anymore, but just a full-time Xfinity, driving his 8 car, just for a year.
Yeah.
Just to see how he does.
Or even a truck schedule. That'd be cool to see.
I mean, there was a couple times where, Junior Motorsports did the truck series there for a few starts. Cole Custer when he first came up.
Yep.
But, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yes, it would.
Your standings following Atlanta and Homestead times 2. Gregson, Briscoe, Burton, Jones, Cindric, Allgaier, Chastain, Siege, Haley, Annette, Hemrick, Herbst, and that rounds it out. Actually, no. Yeah, Herbst rounds it out somehow.
Where's Brandon Brown at, by the way, right now?
Brown is on the outside looking in. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. I see what I'm doing wrong. I'm looking at the left side numbers and not the right side numbers. Brandon Brown is 13th. Just outside of 12th. I keep looking over here on the left side. It says 11th and 13, and I'm looking for 12, and I'm like losing my mind.
I got you.
No, Brown is just on the outside looking in, but another 3 top 10s on the year.
Yeah, that's my surprise of the year in the Xfinity series so far.
I'm trying to look through here and see anyone on the outside that I'm surprised out. No. I mean, Briscoe and Gregson have really been the class of the field all year.
Yes, they have.
It's showing in the standings. Although, like I said, I think Briscoe's the better driver this year in the Xfinity series.
Briscoe's got the calmer demeanor about him compared to Noah, and we've seen that at times with Noah. So wow, he'd be a little high-head. So
you might have seen me turn my head just now on the live stream. That's because it just started raining. I was wondering what that sound was.
Oh, did it? Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing like a mid-June Florida rain shower.
Not that we haven't had enough already.
Hey, can you send some of that rain up here? Yeah, my grass is looking like a car just ran through the infield.
Not synthetic, right?
It's bad. It's bad.
Not synthetic grass either?
No synthetic grass. We need synthetic grass. That would be nice.
All right, Cup Series. We're going to talk about Atlanta. Not that we really need to, because Kevin Harvick dominates at Atlanta.
Yes, he did.
I mean, realistically, flag to flag, just absolutely kick the ass of the field on Sunday at Atlanta. There wasn't really anyone else who even gave him a running for it. It was just the Harvick show.
Yeah, it was definitely. Cool moment before the race. That's all I'll say about it.
Yep. Where they stopped the cars on the front stretch and.
Yep. Very cool. Very touching. A lot of my friends that never watched NASCAR have watched NASCAR. Then they're now fans of it because they're doing that. So
I think it's cool that who's it? Bernard Pollard and Alvin Kamara.
Alvin-
Like
Dude,
they
Alvin
are
Kamara's like,
excited.
"Let's go to Talladega."
They are excited for
ready
these
to go to
races.
Talladega. I'm
I
like,
love
"Hell
it.
yeah."
I love it because you know what? You're expanding your audience, your broadcasting audience, your viewing audience. It's a great way to get more people into the sport.
Heck yeah, I agree 110%.
Being open isn't going to hurt anything.
No, not at all.
And
then it showed on the Martinsville broadcast, and I'll explain more in depth when we get there.
yeah, so Kevin Harvick dominates Atlanta. It's really all you need to say.
Yeah, I mean,
it's it's hard to believe he only has 3 wins there because it seems like he's always up front at Atlanta.
I love how everybody calls it the Harvicking line now.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that.
Oh, man, definitely.
It used to be named after another driver who is not in the sport anymore. But anyways, Martin Truex Jr. that Wednesday night wins the first night race at Martinsville. Had some damage on the front of the car, which is not any different than any other Martinsville race, but the location of it looked like it might have hurt the car, but it very well could have helped it. And much to Patrick, who's in our chats, happiness there because he's a Martin Truex Jr. fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Austin Dillon early in the race blows a tire, like third lap, second lap, third lap, first lap.
It felt like the first lap, first or second lap, like somewhere between there. How's that?
Makes it to 100 to go before they had to pull him out of the car because he was getting dehydrated and the fumes and all that were getting to him. It was a scary moment, man.
Yeah, people don't think these guys are athletes. At Martinsville, it was like 85 degrees or 80 degrees during the majority of the race, and you got to think, people are like, "Oh, these guys aren't athletes." Yeah, right. Get in the car and be in the car for 3.5 hours.
Get behind the wheel and see what happens.
500 laps on less than a half a mile track. And you're turning over 1,000 times. Yep, get in the car and do it.
And I gotta say, the most entertaining driver on that track on that Wednesday night was Bubba Wallace.
Oh, of course.
I mean, mixing it up with everybody. You're not afraid to put the bumper to anybody. Got an 11th place finish. Almost got in the top 10 there after battling with Jimmy Johnson.
At the end. They had a great battle. I was impressed with the Hendrick cars all night that night. Yes, including William Byron. I finally, he did something. All right. But no,
Ryan, I feel like we need to have a talk. I feel like a talk needs to be had.
Why is that?
What's your is your opinion on William Byron changing?
No, it's not. But
I feel like you're frustrated.
No, not at all. I just think he should be in the Xfinity Series still instead of in the Cup.
I wouldn't put him back in the Xfinity Series. I know I've had my problems this year, and I've messaged you about them this year. I've always thought that he was brought up a year too early. You can go back in our shows when he was just a rookie a few years ago, and I said it then. As much as I enjoy watching him race, and as much as I think he's going to do well in the Cup Series, I still think he should have another year in Xfinity. I've never been a fan of bringing a guy up a year after being in an Xfinity car.
Yep. But him and because I'm the NASCAR app. I've been listening to the radio. Love doing that. That is so awesome. I need to subscribe to it. But
$20-something bucks a year, I think I pay for it.
Yeah, I think it's $4.99 a month, which isn't bad right now. So I might do it as a Father's Day present this weekend. Happy Father's Day, early
for
Father's
yourself.
Day to all the kids out there.
For yourself, right?
Including myself. So, but the last 2 races, he's been running good. All 4 of the Hendrick guys look good. I think they're all going to be a factor this weekend at Talladega. Little foreshadowing right there.
Hey, very well could be. Very well could be.
Martinsville underneath the lights.
It was awesome.
Yes, amazing. It's on the bucket list now.
And I love the fact that they didn't need fireworks. They just did a light display afterwards. It was cool.
people on Facebook are like, that light show was more entertaining than the race.
I mean, I didn't see anything of that, but
I've seen a couple people.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Sunday.
It was a typical Martinsville race, but only under the lights.
It would have been a lot better with fans in the stands, I'll tell you that.
Yes, it would have.
So on Sunday, we did have fans in the stands, sort of. We had
Yes.
military men and women who I would assume a majority are fans of the sport were in the stands. And it was cool to see people back in the grandstands. It brought back a slight sense of normalcy to everything. A slight sense. In this race, we made it 5 laps.
Lightning.
And honestly, we didn't even get the race started until, 2 hours
Shortly
after it was...
Shortly
supposed
after
to be?
like 4:30, because they have rain between 3 and 4, and that's the cool thing about a racetrack. It could be raining turn 2, but not be doing anything in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, it was...
I've been there and I've experienced it.
Well, I was at Daytona this year. It wasn't like that there.
Oh no, I
Monsoon.
think it was raining everywhere at Daytona.
That was so funny. I kept calling you when I was
Yeah.
at Daytona. Ryan, I can't get anything to load on my phone. What's the radar look like?
That looks like hell. Oh, they got the dryers on the track.
yeah. He told me Ryan tells me dryers are on the track and drivers to your cars. So we book it back to our seats. We make it halfway through the outside section of the grandstands, and it just starts downpouring. And I go, "That's it. This thing's done."
Yep.
But we finally get the race started. We go 5 laps, and boom, lightning again. And that's pull all the cars back on. We had a water spout off of turn 2.
Which looked pretty cool. A lot of people got pictures of that. We were listening to the radio broadcast on the way home, and they were making fun of, who is it? Moody, because he had to keep going up and down the ladder to his tower.
Yeah,
Because he was between 3 and 4, and they were all making fun of him on the MRN broadcast.
So I was cooking on the grill on Sunday. So between going to the grocery store and coming home and cooking, I had the MRN broadcast on, and I was laughing every time they would call him up and down off his platform.
Yep.
It was great. They went up to Clint Boyer before they started the cars again, and did an interview with Boyer, and he just yelling normal Boyer things.
Oh, yeah.
On the radio broadcast. It was cool though. I didn't expect that a race that was supposed to start at 3:30 to end at 11:15 like it did, but it was an entertaining night.
There were still people that were in the stands too. I mean, some of them did leave. I mean, which is understandable.
Oh yeah, I mean every time it rains, you're gonna have a minimal crowd.
Yeah. But there were still people there, and when Denny got out of the car, he acknowledged them, which was cool.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned yet that Denny Hamlin won, but Denny Hamlin won at Homestead after late race pit cycle. Puts Chase Elliott in the lead due to pit strategy, and he had trouble with some lap traffic. And I gotta say, it's another rivalry alive and well.
Joey and Chase?
Joey and Chase. And
Yep.
I don't want to sit here and say, well, Joey was trying to keep from being another lap down. Like, dude, you're 1 lap down and the leaders are behind you. Just move over. Like, it's late in the race. Just slide on over. Let these guys go. They're racing. He's not going to give Chase any room. And you know what? It's okay. Because it's entertaining to watch.
It is very
as much of a
entertaining.
pain in the ass it might be as a fan watching it, it's entertaining. And you know what? You expect it to happen. And I like Chase's comment at the end when they asked him, what happened with Joey over there, and he's like, "Oh, I got to be better, and when I'm in lap traffic." And it's kind of like a shot at Joey, like he's a lap down,
Yep. Well, it's kind of like the whole Ryan Newman thing, everybody trying to pass him,
Oh, dude, Newman's a pain in the ass to pass on the track.
And that's the way Newman is, so which is awesome. So
I don't know if it was my dad or someone I was talking to about it, and I was like, after seeing Newman back at the track, I was really happy to see him there. I said, then he got in our way when I was like, damn it, Newman!
I can't Chastain be in that car.
Like you just remember how hard it was to pass him.
Yeah, there was a time in that race. I think there was like 10 laps left or something like that. And Chase and Blaney were, cutting into the lead. And then Hamlin just pulled away. I know Chase bounced off the wall. Blaney, I think he bounced off the wall as well, just trying to catch Denny. I don't know about you, but if I had to give the award right now, Tyler Reddick's winning Rookie of the Year.
Tyler Reddick was awesome, and I had made the comment to a friend of mine that was watching the race with me. I was like, yeah, it's great to see Reddick up there, but it just seems like he always has a problem late in the race that puts him in the back. And it never happened. I kept waiting for it. It never happened. He was consistent. Naturally, he's had success there. He's won 2 Xfinity championships there.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, a guy who's been in the Xfinity Series 2 years and he's actually making progress in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
Think about that, owners. Think about that.
I don't know if you heard his
how
radio
awesome. I was just about to say, how awesome was his radio at the end of the race where
Yeah.
white flag hits and he thought the race was over. He's already let off, has his mic keyed up, and everyone's trying to yell at him to keep going, and he's sitting there still thanking everybody.
Yep. Well, you forgot the checker flag.
Fortunately, he was far enough ahead of 5th place in order to keep it keep a 4th place finish, but.
The kids running good. Let's see what happens this weekend with the Talladega. The what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for. Unpredictability of Talladega.
Yeah, like when I did my picks this week, Ryan, I asked Siri to pick me a random number.
Any, meeny, miny, mo.
I just said pick a random number 0 through 99, and that's what I'm going with. That's how I got a Colleague racing car. Believe it.
Oh, nice.
So the playoff standings following all 3 of those races from Atlanta, Martinsville, and Homestead. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, who was second in regular points. I just want to make that known. He's second in regular points, only 8 points behind Kevin Harvick. Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowen, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Clinton Boyer, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron, Matt DiBenedetto,
Byron's in the playoff race?
Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola round out your 16. Yes.
Byron? Wow.
Yes, but all Hendrick cars are in it.
Yeah. And I've been impressed with the Hendrick cars all year.
Looking through this, the surprise to me, not that it's a surprise because he's in better equipment this year, but DiBenedetto, man.
Yeah.
The better equipment's paying off.
I'd have to say that, and yeah, what's another one? I'm not really surprised, but I thought Matt would run a little bit better than the 42 car.
He's also said that this week. There was an interview with Kenseth, and he said, he expected to be a lot better than what he's been.
I mean, I know it's a new team, new crew chief and everything like that. I'm still sure the cars are still set up to Kyle's liking, not to Matt's liking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once they finally get that chemistry down, I think you're going to see Matt run well. I think he might notch a win or two.
Ryan, is it too much for me to say that, or is it too early for me to say that Eric Jones needs to start having a better season?
Yeah.
If he wants to be in that car next year?
I think he's out of that car anyway, to be honest with you.
I saw a rumor that Toyota wants him to be their driver, but
really?
I'm trying to find the news article now on it. I know we're going to get into some news here in a second. Yeah, Toyota wants to keep Eric Jones and Christopher Bell. I don't know if they switch rides. Maybe Bell to the 20 and Jones to the 95. Like I don't know. But I don't see him in a JGR car next year if the season keeps going the way it is.
I don't either. I really don't. I mean,
it's just speculation. It's just banter we're having. But
what's that?
I said it's just banter and speculation that we're having. But
yep, I personally don't think he's going to be in the 20 car. He may be in the 95. I think they're ready for Bell in that 20 car. I honestly do.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Bell does if he does get that promotion to the 20 car. I'm interested to see how he does there compared to the 95 to see how truly the difference is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think there should be that much difference. I mean, but
in speed is what I'm getting at. I mean, Eric Jones is in a car that Matt Kenseth almost won a championship in.
Yep.
In his last 2 seasons. So,
and Eric Jones got a fluke win at Daytona that's why I call it a fluke win, because Ricky Stenhouse was Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, Ryan, I was in the stands. Don't I know it?
I know you were. You said you're never going to go to another July race
Hey,
again because of the humidity.
But you know what
Remember-
wasn't a fluke win though was last year when he won at Darlington. That wasn't a
No,
fluke win. That
no.
was a win. He took that one.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, I think something needs to happen there. All right, let's go over your weekend schedule. All right.
mhm.
So kicking things off on Saturday is going to be the Xfinity Series. Now I got to go back up here and change series so I can give you your times and your TV. So from Talladega, 113 laps, 300 miles. Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. The ARCA race is on, I do believe, at 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm not sure. So let me do my little guide here. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Justin Haley is starting on the pole.
Yes, he is. I saw that.
Once again, not that it matters at Talladega.
No. The ARCA series from Talladega is on at 2 p.m. on FS1. And then
FS1
roughly,
for the Xfinity Series as well. I don't know if I mentioned that.
yes, the Xfinity series is on FS1.
And then Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern is from Talladega on Fox.
The Geico 500.
It just went away. A little pop-up came up, right, where it tells me the TV information. So I'm going to guess and say it was on Fox.
It's on Fox at 3 o'clock.
Starting on the poll there, as Patrick said in our chat, is Martin Truex Jr., followed by Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, some Toyotas in there. Jimmy Johnson starting fourth, rounds out your first two rows. Patrick said in here, glad Martin Truex Jr. drew pole for Sunday. Hope he finishes Talladega in one piece. Talladega has not been the friendliest of tracks to Martin Truex Jr. in the Cup Series.
No, it has not.
In the Xfinity Series, he has a couple wins there, but definitely in the Cup Series, not so much. It has not been one of his better tracks.
Bowman for the fourth straight week is starting 8th. I find that kind of funny. He posted it on his Twitter account. I think
It's like his lucky number.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Tire rub, Ryan.
All
We
right.
got some news.
Left side. Pull this left rear fender out, left side.
All right, we got a couple news articles to go over. Earlier I said something about the Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame was announced. Dale Jr. is in. Red Farmer is in. And I put it on the second page here.
Mike Stefanik.
And Mike Stefanik is in. A lot of people were curious on the junior side because a lot of people thought it was because of the name. No question, Stefanik and Farmer are belonging.
Stefanik had 70-some wins in the modified series, which is still affiliated with NASCAR. And everybody's like, why is Stefanik in? Well, there's your answer right there.
Yeah. So a lot of questions surrounded Junior, if he was just getting in on his name or anything like that. And then I came across a tweet, and I don't remember who posted it, and I'm just paraphrasing the tweet. Look at the top 5 at Homestead. You can only pick out a few that aren't there because of Dale Jr. And you go back into the results, which I'm going to do right now. I should have had it up already, but I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Denny Hamlin wins the race. Denny Hamlin's not in the sport if it's not for Dale Jr. Handpicking him for... What was it that he picked him for? He was racing online with him, wasn't it?
Something like that.
It was something along those lines, and that's what it was. Junior got Denny Hamlin the interview for the job there. Chase Elliott finished second. Naturally raced for Junior Motorsports, helped him get into the 24 car when Jeff Gordon retired. Ryan Blaney, the only tie I can put in there is because he lived at his house or lived on his property for a little bit.
And then now they're next door neighbors.
Yeah. Fourth place, Tyler Reddick won his first Xfinity championship at Junior Motorsports. And Eric Almirola rounds out the top 5. Who Almirola, was he a junior product too?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. I wonder if he was in one of Junior's cars in the at the time Nationwide series.
I'm gonna go. Are you done with that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to make sure you're done because I don't want to.
No. All I'm getting at is, even though he didn't have the most wins or had the championship to his name, multiple Daytona 500 wins,
Yep.
a couple monumental wins, and just the drivers that he's helped bring into the sport. It
The
was
first race after 9/11 happened.
first race after 9/11, first race back at Daytona after his father passed. You know,
My buddy Jeff's first race at MIS.
my first Daytona 500.
Right.
It's just there's a lot of things to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than just what happened on track. It's what he's done for the sport. It has propelled it to new heights. Took the sport on his back after his father passed at Daytona. It was a lot, you know.
Yes, it was. I'm gonna go. What Marty Smith said it on Twitter and on ESPN, and Dale Jarrett said it as well. In 2001, when Dale Sr. died, Junior took the sport of NASCAR on his shoulders, and AJ, you had just mentioned that too. And what he did was he carried the sport, but he also had guys, and I even seen it with an interview with Dale Jarrett, that Junior went to Jarrett, went to Gordon, went to these guys that were, the Mark Martins of the world, the Michael, his peers, and what do I do? And he handled it with class. And like you said, he doesn't have the championships, but 26 wins, multiple Daytona 500 wins. Like we said, the win after the 9/11 tragedy, what he's done with Junior Motorsports, grooming talent, finding talent, William Byron, Chase Elliott, the list goes on and on and on. And what he's done as a broadcaster for still staying in the sport, giving this people knowledge of the sport, the history of the sport. Like I said, he, in the darkest of times, he took the sport and they ran with it. They absolutely ran with it. And, everybody's like, well, he doesn't deserve to be in. He only got in on his name. No, look at what he did off the track, on the track. Everybody went to him asking him if they wanted to race that next weekend at Rockingham. And he said, my dad would want us to do that. And they went on with the season.
Yeah. It goes, like I said, it goes a lot farther than just being good behind the wheel of the car. Most popular driver for every year after his dad's passing in 2001. I mean, after 2001, when Dale Earnhardt won it. Ever from then until the day he retired, he was NASCAR's most popular driver, and it's
been an Elliott and an Earnhardt since the 80s.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's, I don't know. It goes a lot deeper, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So
and like I said, everybody's like, well, he got in on the name. No, he did not, guys. I mean, look at the backstory. He grew up in the sport. I mean, obviously he was going to be in it. I don't know.
And Patrick just informed me that Eric came up through JGR. So thank you there. I was trying to find it and I couldn't. I wasn't quick enough.
I'm happy for Dale. I really am. I love this Hall of Fame class. I like how they're not, what was it last year? There's like 8 guys getting in. This year it's only 4 guys. I like that they're doing the smaller classes. I think you'll see Carl Edwards in it next year.
Maybe. I maybe just because I don't know if his career was long enough, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Maybe. He's got a good resume behind him.
Yes, he does.
But, I mean, he's got multiple wins, but in that sense, that's a guy I look at as a, what did he do as a driver? Because whereas Junior did a lot of off-track things, Carl was just what he did on track. Good in the Truck Series, or great in the Truck Series and Nationwide Series and Xfinity Series. Great behind the wheel of a Cup car, but never had those big wins. Like, didn't have any 500 wins.
Mark Martin never had a Daytona 500 win.
He didn't. He also didn't have any championships. But Mark Martin
was a hell of a race car driver.
You almost slipped up there, huh, Ryan?
Well, Martin and Dale Jr. are my two favorite drivers of all time. So
I'm trying to see. Carl Edwards had 28 wins. So, Carl Edwards has he has a chance to get in there. But 38 wins in the Xfinity Series, 6 wins in the Truck Series. So, I mean, almost 70 wins in NASCAR is all three series.
You do know you're going to have those people out there. If Dale Jr. got in, why can't Carl Edwards get in, or why can't this guy get in, or that guy, or anything like that? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, you could be opening the door for some trouble there now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, thank you.
But moving things on, I don't know. I sent it to you earlier, Ryan. The Corey LaJoy Sunday Money podcast, the excerpt talking about Denny Hamlin. I didn't know those two had a big problem there.
They had mentioned it during the interview with him on Fox when they were doing the rain delay interviews. They interviewed him, and I think it was Mike Joy brought up something with Denny Hamlin, and LaJoy basically said, "Hey, I'm going to be professional about it," and basically shrugged it off. And then that's when they talked about the car at I think it was Martinsville when he had the mask on for the Corey LaJoy car on top of. I love that the hoods now with him on it.
With his face,
it's great. I wish more drivers would do that.
Oh, for sure, it is hilarious when they do it, man.
But yes, those two have a definitely beef. I am definitely siding with Corey LaJoy on this, especially after with what Denny Hamlin said and did. And if you want to tell the folks what he said and did, go ahead.
Say again? Sorry, it cut out on my end.
Oh, I was going to say, if you want to tell the folks what Denny Hamlin did to Corey LaJoy and the team.
Oh, yeah.
Go
ahead. He sends a text message out to LaJoy, the team owner, that he's going to put him in the wall or wreck him the next race. And NASCAR had to pull him aside and say, that's premeditated. It's, if it happens, you're going to be in some deep trouble, man. And they said that they supposedly had squashed it there, but I
don't think so. I really don't.
I don't think so either, but I also hope they didn't.
Yeah. And I kind of want to see what happens, though. I mean, we know that Corey LaJoy, he's in decent equipment. See what happens if this kid can get in some good equipment.
Yeah, he's every couple of years it seems that Corey steps up what car he's in, team wise. It's working his way up the tiers, I guess we could say. I really think Corey's got a good chance to get in a good ride here eventually.
I think so too.
But anything else you want to add to that one, Ryan?
The Corey and Denny Hamlin? No, thank you.
Okay. I'm interested to see how it plays out these next couple weeks. On track. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, definitely.
I thought I lost you again.
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Where are we now on the list? I went all around now on our news. Now I don't know where we're at. NASCAR is moving the number locations for the All-Star race. The All-Star race that has now been moved from Charlotte to Bristol. And it's going to also have 30,000 fans. They're moving the numbers to the quarter panel. I saw it of recent.
It's in the Ryan Blaney car. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the numbers being there. And I only say that because, yes, you can identify a driver by the sponsor, but usually, it's something that is the character of a car is the number. Like how you can associate a car to a driver has always been to me the number.
Oh, of course.
And when you put the sponsor
number 3, when you put
the sponsor where the number usually is, I feel like you're taking away from that. Like, well, hell, who's in that? Because someone could have the same sponsor in the Xfinity series or the Truck series, and then they have it in the Cup series, and you're like, oh well, who's driving that? You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. I'm a traditionalist with that. Yeah, it's just not something that I'm really big on.
I think the car looks pretty sweet. The sponsor for the Blaney that weekend.
That wasn't. Are you talking about the Dex Imaging one?
That looks pretty sweet.
That
I
is
like
not Ryan Blaney's. That is Harrison Burton's, I believe, from
Really?
the ARCA series when he was still in ARCA.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe it was either him or it was Jeb. Because I've seen that picture before. I'm trying to look it up now, and I believe it was. Yep, it was Harrison Burton that
Oh,
they
was
did
it?
that. Yep.
My beat.
No, it's all good. I mean, that's pretty much how I figure it's going to be. And it was
Mhm.
the K&N series, not ARCA, but it's pretty much how like I said, how I imagine it looking. All right, going back through here, check this page out. Some rule changes are coming to Talladega this weekend. Basically, in an effort to keep from what happened to Ryan Newman happening further on. And I had sent you this yesterday, and I'm going to read it from the message I sent you instead of this big article where I had to pick out everything. It was that NASCAR will be aiming for 510 horsepower this weekend rather than the usual 550 horsepower. With no aero ducts, the 35 to 40 horsepower reduction is to reduce the chance of drivers tandem drafting. NASCAR does not expect the speeds to be under 200 miles per hour. So, I don't know. I really liked some of the tandem stuff that was happening at Daytona, but then you were reminded of how dangerous it was. So like
Last night,
in that
Go
sense,
ahead.
I'm like, well, I don't mind that then. But man, it was entertaining for up until that last lap.
like the whole racing was good. Last night they reshowed the 2011 spring race at Talladega where Johnson won.
Oh, the 3 wide finish, basically.
Yes, the 3 wide finish, and that was all tandem stuff. They spread out too far on the tandem. I wasn't a fan of it. I'm glad with what happened with Newman. I'm glad that everything was all right, and that they're trying to get rid of the tandem stuff. To me, I didn't like it. There was something about it. It didn't feel like a restrictor plate track or a plate track. So
no, it didn't. But for the little bit that we've had, it's been pretty entertaining. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in that sense. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not taken back, but
we'll see what happens on Sunday.
yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out. Naturally, no one wants to see what happened at Daytona happen again. But like I said, just for that little bit, it was entertaining up until that last lap. All right. Last thing I want to touch on, because it's a touchy subject. The Confederate flag was banned at all, or prohibited at all NASCAR events moving forward. All I want to say is I've never had that be a reason that I wanted to attend races or watch races. It never will be a reason as to why I watch or attend races. My opinion on it is the people that are sitting here saying that, that's it for NASCAR, NASCAR's dead, or that's the final straw, I'm not watching anymore. You probably weren't watching to begin with for the last several years. So it's easy for you to say. If you're someone who's paying attention to the sport week in, week out, you're probably not really caring about that, because if you did, you would have had a problem with it back in 2017 when this was initially first started to take form, when NASCAR asked that fans no longer bring the Confederate flag to the infield. I believe it was Talladega at the time. They were coming up on the Talladega weekend, it was. So if you didn't have a problem then, but you have a problem now, then you need to reevaluate where you're standing, first off. And second off, if you're saying that that's it, it's the final straw, and you're out, well, good riddance to you. But I don't think you've been here for the last several years, as it was.
I agree 100% with what you just said. Like I said, we've all been on social media. We've all seen people saying they're done because they took away the flag. Well, guess what? We have a green flag, a white flag, a checkered flag, all these other different flags. We still salute the American flag. And for people to say they're done with it, like AJ said, good riddance. See ya. You weren't a fan to begin with, but look at what's happening now. We had mentioned it earlier in the show with Alvin Kamara and a couple other guys that have never, that maybe have checked in on a race, but now Alvin Kamara was at Homestead and had a blast. He was tweeting like nobody's business on Sunday because he was there for the Xfinity race, and then he was there, stayed for the entire Cup race. He's like, I didn't expect to get out of there till 11:30, but hey, delays happen. He's like, I understand now why they happen because they don't have rain tires.
It was very entertaining, to see the new faces coming in,
exactly
big names that have been coming in. It's very nice. It's new. It's refreshing. It's
exactly. I have a person, or I had a person on my Facebook that said NASCAR needs to get rid of a certain driver, which we all know who that is, and I blocked her. I got rid of her. I'm like, nope, I'm done with this. I'm not dealing with it. I didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, guess what? The guy can drive a race car. If he didn't know how to drive a race car, he wouldn't be in the sport.
Correct. And that I agree with.
And I got rid of her. I'm like, I'm tired of her. I'm like, that's his right that's him standing up for what he believes in. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I mean, it's a very touchy subject, like you had said.
It's a touchy subject. I really don't like talking about it much. You know what I mean? Like, it's got no place here. It never has, and it needs to go away.
There's one person I know who is ecstatic that it's gone.
Oh yeah?
My brother.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the political one of the two of us, but I'm they tried to get rid of it before. Now they finally they put their foot down. It's gone.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to leave it at.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't blame it. I don't blame him for doing it.
Bristol, when I went to Kentucky, yeah, I saw him flying around, but did that stop me from going to a race? No. Am I going to stop watching racing now because it's gone? No.
No.
I'm still going to watch it. We'll watch every Saturday, Friday, Saturday, whenever race is on. No.
It like I said, it's never. It hasn't been a difference maker to me.
No, not.
It's always been. It hasn't been a deciding factor. That's the word I'm looking for. It hasn't always been a deciding factor to me.
No, never for me either.
So, all right. I'm gonna move on from that because it's a subject that I'm not a fan of getting into.
Oh.
I said it a couple weeks ago when we recorded that you and I, we are the wrong people to be having the discussion about it because we're not as informed.
But as a couple of people have told me that I talked to, is like, you are a NASCAR podcast, you should bring it up, but don't go into depth, and that's what we just did right there. I mean, we had to bring it up because it's news.
Yep, I agree with you.
All right, let's get into some happy notes.
Yes, please. Let's get into some happy notes. Actually, that's it. That's all I have for news.
Okay,
so it's social media.
I got something for my rant segment, but it's not going to be a rant. But it is something.
All right, so it's all right.
For foreshadowing again.
Yeah, it's a little bit of foreshadowing going on.
Foreshadowing.
All right, here we go. All right, social media. We are up to 2,126 downloads on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. 327 followers on Twitter. 79 likes on Facebook. 25 subscribers on YouTube. Oh, of course, I already closed this out. We do have one new follower shout out this week.
All right.
And it is John Woo at John_Woo. Thank you for the follow. Podcast shout-outs this week are the Lap Traffic Podcast, PTM Racing Podcast, 3 Wide NASCAR Podcast, and the Final Lap Weekly. Places you can find us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and YouTube in your search bar, the Loose Lugs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, follow, turn on your notification bell so you can hear that notification bell ding every time.
Ding, ding, ding.
I'll let you free run with that one.
No problem.
On Twitter, we are at Lugs Podcast. You tweet us about the show using the hashtag LugsPod, and on Facebook, in your search bar, the Loose Lugs Podcast. Our personal accounts, myself, is at Grey Goose F150, and Ryan?
Rencola88.
All right, sir. It is time for your rant.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to have two things. And first of all, this is going to be my rant. People always are, or seem to me like they're never happy. Oh, the racing's been boring. The racing's been boring. Like we just said in the our last segment, if you guys are not happy, stop watching, because we have more people coming into the sport watching it now. When fans are allowed back into attendance at these racetracks, when tickets are sold, there are going to be a lot of tickets sold. And then when NASCAR is back where it belongs, don't come crawling back. Take a minute here. So the Hall of Fame edition on NASCAR America had Dale Jarrett on. And everybody knows Dale Jarrett, NASCAR champion, Daytona 500 champion, Dale Sr., Dale Jarrett, Ned Jarrett calling him down, how to block, everything like that. Well, he announced on NASCAR America that he has the COVID-19. AJ, I don't know if you know about it.
I heard about it.
Jarrett had mentioned that he has the COVID-19. Jarrett's a fighter. We all know Dale's going to get through this, and we're going to be seeing him on the NBC broadcast when NASCAR returns to NBC, which is, I think, Brickyard, if I'm not mistaken, with how the schedule's going right now. But, yeah, he will get through it. We all know he will. I've got to see him win multiple times in person. I've met the guy. Such a nice guy. So, yeah, our thoughts are with the Jarrett family right now.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't disagree at all.
And what about the people coming back? Do you think they're going to come back?
Yeah. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, no reason not to.
Mm-hmm. But
Is
yeah,
that it
I guess
for the rants this week?
Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything?
No, I'm all good. I got nothing to complain about.
How about something you want to be happy about? Maybe I can't think of it.
That's all I got, man.
We're at Talladega this weekend. How's that?
Yeah. No, we're at Talladega. We got some
in attendance.
We got some fans gonna be there this weekend. We got some white flag to go over.
If I read correctly, I think if you had tickets to that Geico 500 and you want to attend, excuse me, I don't know if it's first come first serve or the tickets are going to be honored. So that's going to be interesting how they do that.
Yep, I'm interested to see how it all turns out. All right, Ryan, we got the white flag to go over. Let's get into it.
All right.
Keep working the mirrors. In line with you, coming to the white. Only two.
White flag segment. We are about to predict the two races this weekend from Talladega, Xfinity and Cup. So last time we recorded, we did our picks for Atlanta and Martinsville, but what we didn't do is what we failed to do was post our Homestead picks. So what I did was I used our picks from Atlanta and just brought them into Homestead, except for the Cup Series, where I took our two drivers for Atlanta and Martinsville and our sleeper and averaged the finishes out and gave the point to the better average finisher, which was Ryan. He had a average finish, I think 7.6, and I was at 10. So Ryan gets the Cup win or the Cup point for Homestead, but Ryan, that was pretty much all you had. I got like 17 points. I now lead 24-15. So I go first. You need some wins here this weekend, my friend.
I got you covered.
On the Xfinity Series side, I'm going with the number 11, Justin Haley.
It was on the poll, by the way.
He was on the poll. I wrote that down and sent it to you before I even knew.
Yes, you did. I saw that. Oh, Talladega. What was Talladega known as? Earnhardt Country. Give me Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Jeffrey Earnhardt. I think he's in the 0 this weekend.
Yes, he's in the 0 this weekend.
All right.
Maybe an underfunded team, but
Cup Series, because I love the car this weekend. I'm going with Clint Boyer. Like I said, you can just throw a dart at this board. It don't matter.
Give me the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
My sleeper, I'm going with the man we just talked about, 32, Corey LaJoy.
Yeah, very nice. I like that. The guys in the Hall of Fame this weekend. Give me the 88.
Alex Big Time Bowman.
That's right.
Alex
So-
Big Time Bowman.
I told you, I said I like the way the Hendrick cars are running this year, so.
Well, I'm excited.
I am too. It's Talladega. Fans in attendance.
Talladega fans in attendance, Father's Day weekend.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's right. It is my day. Yay!
We right. We just talked about this like
I know.
15 minutes ago.
I said Happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there.
All right.
Yes, but yeah, 5,000 in attendance, and see how this goes. And
Hey, if you're going to track this weekend, have a good time.
I think if all goes well, I think we're going to see more people at the treks.
I agree with that statement. I think so. Ryan, this is the first time in a while you can actually use the phrase.
Right, I can. Holy cow. Guys, hope everybody is enjoying their week. Guys, stay strong. Come on, guys. We're all one. And we'll see you at the track.
Special thanks to Patrick for coming out in our chat this week. Thanks to everyone who downloaded this podcast on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher. Thanks for tuning in here on the live stream on YouTube. Even if you didn't say anything, appreciate you being here. Thanks to all the followers of the show. We're in Talladega. Like Ryan said, we'll see you at the track. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We're back next week. See ya!